All right, happy witching hour. I felt like I should come and talk to y'all about something that's really extremely frustrating. And I know I'm going to get through this. I know that we are going to get through this. It is extremely frustrating. I always like to go back and look at my past lives, especially for some reason during Mercury in retrograde. It just takes me back. And I wish I had more time to just explore that. I feel like I've led different lives, but I feel like right now, more than any lifetime, I am connected with my true nature as being a healer. And I can tell you that because of big pharma and big business, and possibly even the medical industry, I feel like, and I'm not sure because I don't even think it's that. I'm not going to say that, but I feel like I'm being denied my true nature as a healer, and people just don't know that a lot of the stuff that has been happening in social media, I don't care anything about it. It is not important to me. What has been important to me is getting back to my family, and not just my children, but the rest of my family. Um, I've spoken about this just recently. My aunt that raised me from a baby passed away. And when I saw a video of her, like I think probably like a few weeks or so before she passed on, it made me so angry. It made me so angry, so very, very angry. And I am angry. And I am trying to deal with that anger. I feel like it's coming from social media and people in social media and certain people that constantly injure themselves, put themselves in situations that cause afflictions. You can drink alcohol, you can smoke a barrel of weed, even cigarettes, but nothing is ever going to tear your health down more than anything than stress and arguing. That's a very, very bad thing. Stress and arguments and negativity is going to continue to kill and destroy. And there are some people that are just obsessed with tearing themselves down and tearing other people down. And I can see it so clearly, so very, very clearly. And I don't believe that people in social media should have a negative effect over people's lives. But we have people in social media that are negatively affecting people. But then again, I wonder, knowing the true nature of people, I often wonder, where do those people get that self-confidence from? Where do they get the confidence from? And so this is the reason why I get angry with people in my family, not my children, but some of the other people. I feel that they are behind it. When I looked at my aunt, I got so angry because nobody told me how sick she was. Nobody. No, nobody told me. I didn't even know she was that sick. If I showed you a picture of my aunt compared to, like, a comparison of what she may have looked like a few years ago compared to what she looked like in this video that I saw of her, like, it was like you could see her spirit, but her body was so, and she was sitting straight up, and she was lively, and her spirit was still there, but it was like it didn't look like my auntie. And I am only responsible for my clients and the people that I help. I'm not responsible for people and their business problems and their beefs with other people in social media, their beefs with celebrities. I'm not involved with that stuff. Hey, Stefan. Yeah, happy Tuesday. Yeah, I'm not involved with that. And I feel like people want to drag me into that. And I'm not. And I'm getting more and more and more frustrated because why do I feel like I'm not being allowed to heal my family? But yet, more so, I'm being sort of trapped by certain people that have no place in my life. If these people actually had a place in my life, I would be okay with it. I would be good with it. Trust me, I have my own intuition and I trust it 1,000,000%. And so then it makes me wonder, is it coming from the inside? Why am I not being allowed to heal my family? What my like my aunt, I believe she was in her 80s or 70s. It wasn't her time to go. And I remember talking to her. I remember calling my auntie, and I remember having a conversation with her, and I was so emotional about all of this disgusting stalking that's been going on in social media. And she said, Shawnee, just come home. She said, don't, she said, just come home, is what she told me. And I said, I can't come home. I have a lease agreement. I have to wait. This was in 2018, 2017. And I like when I think about the fact that I should have been there healing my auntie. I should be there. Should have been there helping her. This lady nurtured me for the first 5 years of my life. and I missed that completely. And nobody even told me how sick she was. And then you got people in social media that's trying to dictate my family. And then I'm looking at my uncle and I'm saying, where are you? Why are you allowing these strange men in social media to dictate to your family? Why is it, you know the way I see it? I'm gonna tell you the way I see it. Anytime an outside influence is able to come into your family and home in, anytime a man or a woman can come into your family and do something like that, you being too complacent. You supposed to hold your family down. You supposed to stand in front and defend your family. And I feel like the person that's supposed to be looking out for everybody obviously is not doing that, because no man should ever feel comfortable with disrespecting your family like that. So what's really going on? Here's my whole thing about it, is that I'm frustrated anyway, because there's a lot of healing that I'm supposed to be doing right now, not only for myself but other people. But I feel like the adversarial energy is trying to suppress that, and it really irritates me so badly, to the point where I'm ready to destroy. I'm ready to I am Listen, one side of me is healing and protecting and holding down my people that I love. The other side of me is ripping a hole, I'm literally ripping at these people. And I hate that I have to do both. I shouldn't have to do both. I shouldn't have to be bothered with this. I shouldn't have to be bothered with people's beefs that have nothing to do with me. And so all day yesterday, I was just protecting my energy, is what I was doing yesterday, protecting my energy, because I feel like people that, in my humble opinion, probably shouldn't have never been born on this earth, and probably should have just got swallowed in the back seat of a van. I feel like these people are trying to use me to sustain their life and trying to feed off of me. And instead of me being there to heal my family, and I swear to you, I am going to explode on these people, because I should have been there for my aunt. And people will come on here and they will say nobody cares about you in your hometown. And it's like, that is a lie. That, like, is so annoying, how the people that I love and that love me have to be separated from me for these selfish people that I don't even know. I don't even know you people. Just horrifying narcissists. I didn't just lose my mother in 2021. I lost my other mother too, just recently in February. And I should have been there for her. And I'm not doing the reason why I feel like I'm being held captive in Georgia is not even happening. It's all of this inconvenience and lies and smoke and mirrors and glamour and lies, but nobody is getting what they actually want out of me, and they never will. Nobody. Nobody. I'm going to continue to protect my energy. I'm going to continue to protect my family's energy. My family comes first. And so I'm being told, well, I'm going to harass you and stalk you and lie on you and say all these disgusting things to you for my family's benefit, even though it ain't going to do me and my family no good. All this feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding that these people are doing, they're still dying. They're still dying. They're not like they doing all this feeding. Oh, I'm getting paid off of this person, and I'm being, and it's constantly Jamila, 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 because I'm an authentic healer. And then why do I feel like there's some kind of system that is supporting this crap when I'm not being allowed to be who I am? Every single time somebody in my family dies, especially of sickness, I feel it. And there's a reason why I feel that. There's a reason why when my mother died, I almost died, because I'm connected to those people. And I'm supposed to heal those people. Something is wrong here. What is going wrong? Who is doing this? I want y'all to know what I'm actually dealing with and what I think about. I don't think about some stupid beef. I'm not a crazy person. I know how to focus on what's important. That's all I think about. That's all I think about. I don't think about none of these people and they stupid beefs. I don't even care. I don't. I don't care. They don't deserve my energy. They don't deserve my attention or my time. Who deserves my energy? The people that raised me, regardless to what mistakes my mother made, regardless to what mistake that anybody in my family made, especially when it comes to my auntie Ernestine. She raised me. She nurtured me. I would not be here if it were not for her. I would not be here if it were not for my mother. So I'm not going to come to social media and be stupid and weak minded, knowing, listen, this is your ancestor. This is your mother. She gave you life. She raised you and she sustained you. Hey, you know what? She didn't always do the right thing. But you know what? At the end of the day, I can't even complain about my mother. And you got people on here, and I know it for a fact, there's people on here, they're literally trying to get people to turn their back on their parent for any little thing, for their own selfish reasons. Complete strangers that don't nobody even know. We don't even know you. You're a karmic. You may be somebody that has a karmic connection, but this is people's family that they messing with, and they are constantly up to it, constantly. Then not only that, it's not just my family, it's my clients. What's irritating me again is the clients that I have, their adversaries trying to interfere with their healing. I am a healer. Yeah, I'm a witch. I consider myself to be a witch, a shaman, but I am a healer at the end of the day. I'm not some damn tyrant. I shouldn't be arguing with nobody. I'm not going to sit up here, literally, the inflammation was so bad from arguing with people and just that stress that it almost makes your ears kind of muffled. It is so disgusting what's happening. It's so disgusting at a time when I should be focused on healing. And I do focus on healing my clients. I know exactly how to do it. I know exactly how to do it, right? At a time when I'm supposed to be doing all of that, instead of me being able to do my healing rituals, for me to be able to do my work for my people, for my family, my extra energy, that time that I should be in a bubble bath, time that I should be in the shower, time that I should be out in nature, I'm online trying to debunk somebody's lies every 5 minutes. This should not be happening. And this is the reason why I talk about it. Because you know what? Who in the hell is there to defend me? I got to sit up here and come to social media when my family and my people need me because of some horny man in social media. Some psychopath who doesn't even know the meaning of life, somebody that is meaningless to me, somebody that's pointless to me because of his sexual dysfunction or because of some other female sexual dysfunction. I can't do my job as well as take care of me. I have to take care of everybody else before me. And then you know what? Let's throw another whammy at you. Let's send agents to your company. Let's purposely try to throw off your finances just from being disruptive and problematic. You know, being disruptive and problematic does not actually give a person power. These people go in shifts. If one of them ain't live acting a fool and being disruptive and problematic, another one is. They go in shifts all day and night. I am seriously sick and tired of it. Those beefs that those people have nothing to do with me. It's one main person now that keeps bringing me into it. This guy over here with this girl over here in Georgia. He keeps bringing me into it. Why? I have nothing to do with your argument. I'm so pissed and I'm tired. I am tired of being invaded. So this is the reason why I'm so harsh. That's my spirits doing that. They're very harsh because it's out of place. These people for years, oh, you are in this with us. No, I'm not. No, I am not. Accept it and move on. And then the fact that so many families have deviated away from the healing. They've deviated away from the healing of each other, of their family, because of religion. My ancestors were not Christian, nor were they Muslim. Well, you know what? I do think I have some Muslim ancestors. Let me take that back. I do have Muslim ancestors. And I think that they largely inspired, my mother and why I ended up with the name that I have, which is Muslim. It's Arabic. But my ancestors were not Jehovah Witnesses. My ancestors were not Christian. My ancestors were shamans. They were not. What do we have to do with that? We have nothing to do with that. And these people don't understand that it's not just on a social level how you are violating. It is on a deep cosmic spiritual level to where you are in a lot of trouble. And I'm not just talking about cosmos and astrology. It is on a earthly level. It is on an earthly level. You people are violations of Mother Earth. You people should not be messing with people like me. You should not. You should not. Somebody that has my beliefs and my ancestors is plenty of people like me that like are they just constantly attacking that person? No. And I think that racism and sexism has a lot to do with it. So it's a reason why every time somebody in my family gets sick, I get sick, because I should be there with them. I should be there with them with my feathers, and I should be there with them with my smoke, and I should be there with them taking care of my family. I should have been there with my auntie. I should have been there with my mother. And you know what? I'm not like those people. I'm very angry and I'm very salty about it. I'm very salty about it, because I believe that my mother would still be alive had people not been manipulative. They're not powerful. They're manipulative. They're liars. They're frauds. Trust me, if my mother would have known that she was going to die that day, she didn't know. My mother died suddenly. She died so suddenly that they found her 3 days later in her home. My uncle found her dead in her home. So nobody expected for my mom to die. Nobody. And these people just playing around with people's lives. Why do y'all think I'm so harsh about it? I'm very frustrated because this should not be happening. It's almost like these people are a glitch. I have asked them nicely. My spirits have asked them nicely to stop. Don't say our names at all. Don't say anything to us. Don't do it. You have already done enough. You are out of place in our lives. You have nothing to do with our lives. Nothing. You are just some people on the internet that we should not care about, nor should we still be talking about. So that's why I'm so harsh. And these very same people come on here. I heard one of them talking last night about their blood pressure medicine, which clearly is never going to help them. In denial. Your blood pressure medicine, really? You know how many people die of heart attacks and strokes every single day while on blood pressure medicine? And here I am, an entire healer. I shouldn't even be having a conversation with a person like that. It's very toxic. It's very toxic. Most people that have high blood pressure, do they take a pill and continue on? No, you know what they do? You know what they do? They start living a lifestyle that is conducive to taking care of themselves. They don't drink a bunch of alcohol and smoke a bunch and do a bunch of crazy stuff and then think, oh, I'm going to juice some juice and that's going to make it better. Nobody that I know currently is that stupid. Nobody that I would have anything to do with is that stupid. Oh, really? You're going to come and raise hell all the time, involve yourself in the most negative, toxic stuff all the time, but then you're going to take some moringa powder, right? Right. Sure. You're going to take moringa powder and you're going to do some juicing. Mm-hmm. Sure, buddy. Sure. Yeah, that's gonna work for you. Hmm. And what am I supposed to do? Is my life supposed to be inspired by these people or affected by these people? Because I can tell you, walking away from those people is gonna lower your blood pressure about 20 points. It's gonna bring it down to normal. Losing a few pounds gonna bring that down to normal. When you lose weight, your blood pressure goes down. It does. Okay. Getting away from all that inflammation. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. I really am. And I really don't see good things happening for those people. I think that they front and they lie, but you know what? At the end of the day, you should not, like, for example, I don't have nothing to do with somebody's argument about voodoo. I'm not an IFA practitioner. I don't practice Santeria. I don't have nothing to do with none of that. Nothing to do with none of it. My people and our healing practices are so sacred that I don't even show y'all none of my healing practices. Because that's who I am. That's what I am. Ultimately, is a healer. And I'm very frustrated with what has been happening. And I'm not going to ever cooperate with these people ever. Especially when it comes to my family that raised me, the people that I grew up with. I would never come to social media and allow people to try to replace memories of my childhood, knowing that that lady that just passed away in February, she took care of me my entire life. I don't care about none of this stuff in social media. I don't want to hear it. I just want to go home, and I just want to go to my family's grave sites and grieve and cry. I just want to go and cry it out. It's what I want to do at this point. That's what I need. I don't need to be over here in Georgia feeling like I'm being held hostage by some goddamn fucking weird drug cartel or something. I don't even have anything to do with drugs. I feel like I'm dealing with drug dealers and pimps, and what do I have to do with this? I have nothing to do with it. Hey, Fantastic Max. And you know what? And I'm gonna tell you something. I definitely have the capability. I have the ultimate control over my own mind. As soon as I get back home, I will forget about these people completely. I don't even think about them now. I try to stay focused, but what's happening is social engineering and social media, a bunch of lies and then false flagging. And then a lot of false flagging. A lot of it. People trying to front, oh, I'm going to make it look like this. No, you know what? I don't have anything to do with that. And then people want to come to me and say, well, why didn't you leave with this? Or why? I came to the hotel where I'm at. The plan was to stay a week. Spirit already had it planned out. My spirits have things already pre planned. When my spirits give me a date, I'm going to tell y'all something. I left that Airbnb, and I'm going to discuss this. I left that Airbnb February the 13th. My spirits planned on me hitting the road on the 20th, no later than the 22nd of February. When that date passed, they got pissed. They are not happy. They are not. I was supposed to only be at the hotel for a week. That's why I didn't go to an extended stay, because I didn't plan on staying here except for another week. I planned on being home by the 22nd of February. My spirits are angry at anybody that is trying to interfere in any way. And they're saying that it's fake and that it is a fraud, and they are ready to start knocking people's heads off. Oh, he does get all my attention. He does. But right now, me and him are going to be split up. He's going to be in a different state. I have to go home. He's doing whatever he's doing, and I have to go home. I cannot stay here in Georgia any longer. My spirits are saying, if you do anything at all to try to keep me here, you are in big trouble. And right now, what I've been dealing with, and I'm gonna tell you something. I know it for a fact, and this is why these people keep arguing. They want to argue. They want to go back and forth. Well, that is because they want to control. And see, it just Mm-mm. They on a warpath. They on a warpath, and I don't feel sorry for nobody that's trying to mess with me. I don't, because it shouldn't even be in my life. This shouldn't even be happening. It's like some kind of off reality to where when it stops, like when it completely stops, it is ridiculous, Stefan. It is. When it completely stops, I feel like people are not even going to think about it. I feel like it's just going to be something that people are going to forget about. And I know it is, but they keep going and going and going. Why? Why? Do you not realize, and I'ma always stay on my path 100. 100. I know my assignment. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm staying on that assignment. Nobody can take me off of that path. But I'm sitting here thinking about, how are they stopping me from leaving? Well, it's something called society and social engineering. One of my theories on how they do it is that somehow in the Black community is pretty much accepted for a man that is not good for a woman, is not the best thing for her, is abusive, pretty much have experienced this before, to where when the woman makes a break from that person, from that man, it seems like people try to push the woman back into the situation. So I've seen plenty of Black men that ain't no good, that shouldn't be nowhere near no woman ever. All they got to do is go to some Black people in the Black community, and the next thing you know, because it's social engineering when it comes to Black people, it is. Right, exactly. It ain't, I mean, really, I wouldn't even say that it's a break. Me and him never had a bond like that. There's never been a bond like that. He's just always stalked me on the internet. But yeah, it's been almost a year since then. And he literally stalked me from November. First of all, he had other people stalking me in August, September, and October. But then he came back himself to stalk me in November because he saw that I wasn't saying anything about him. He saw that we were doing fine. He was stalking me at my location. He wanted to, because he just wants me to be homeless, perpetually homeless. He just wants me to be perpetually homeless and suffering, for people to die because I don't want to deal with him. Because he wants to prove somehow that he can hold on to a woman while dogging her out and her children. For some reason, this is his claim to fame. So this happened all the way, this so-called social engineering and this harassment, big time, since November. Big time, since November, all the way up until now. All of a sudden, now he wants to claim that he stopped. But why should my life have to be held up? So then, there was a couple of clients that was sent to my business that I feel I should have never done work for. Okay, these people came to me with real legit spiritual problems, faked like they were clients, got me involved with their situation, and then abandoned the situation and did not pay me for the work. So that's been throwing me off completely. It hasn't allowed things to flow as they normally would flow, which is the whole point of doing it. So again, that's still not no kind of spiritual power. It's called circumstantial, is what it is. My other clients have had to pitch in to help out a lot. And I've tried to get in touch with these people and said, hey, you need to speak to me. You need to let me know what's good, because even though I know for a fact that the reason why you ghosted the situation is because you were told to. And I realized that whatever it was that told you to do that, you must have fear of it, that of which I don't have fear of it at all. So there were people that were sent to my business. Do I feel that these clients actually really do like me and respect me? Yes, I do. I do feel that they like and respect me. I think that they probably wish that they came to me under different circumstances. Because once you get to know me, somebody can send you to me to be trying to hurt me, and once a person get to know me, you just gonna love me. That's just how I am. People just love me. People don't. You got to be an extremely ruthless person. You do. Even though I know I've been on here acting very scary. I've been on here just like a real bitch lately. I know, but it's been for a reason. Because if I can't be in my true nature and you're sitting up here, well, I don't believe. I don't believe you a healer. Well, too bad. Who cares about what you believe? Who cares? Yes, he Fantastic Max, of course he does. He wouldn't that's how the black man gets you. He just talks about you. If a black man wants to keep you under his thumb, he tells a bunch of lies about you and plays victim. A lot of black men are natural narcissists. A lot of them are. In fact, a majority of black men are natural narcissists. I'm not talking about all of y'all, but there's a lot of y'all that are. And this is one of the things that a lot of black women complain about, is when y'all start slandering us and just talking about us and just telling lies on us, and doing certain things to us, and then not even being honest about the fact that you're the one that's doing this. So, trying to have control over somebody, basically. And my ancestors don't like it either. I have ancestors that, like I said, they name me all kind of names: Free Spirit, Lavender, Rain, Wildflower. They not- like why he's been doing shows about me for the past several months, and it shouldn't have been not one thing that he said about me. He shouldn't have ever said anything about me. He shouldn't have never been stalking me even 10, 12 years ago. It should have never happened. Hold on real quick, y'all. Yeah, so I listen, I came here on business, and that's what I do in my business is I heal people. And I think that a lot of these black people on this website need to just accept it and move on. And I'm talking about really move on for good and forever. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. I'm like I'm still very salty about losing my mother. Me and my mother, we have gotten into it so many times throughout the years. Me and my mama done had knockdown, drag out arguments. Not that bad though, because I ain't never been extremely disrespectful to my mother. Never, never. But we've had some pretty bad times with each other. But me and my mother always forgave each other. We always did. And for her to leave this earth like that, I'm salty over that. I'm never gonna get over it. I'm never gonna get over my mother dying ever. I don't care if she was possessed. I don't care. It's still my mother, even if that's something that you don't mess with somebody about. Like my mother is gone. It's like I'm not a person that's disconnected emotionally. I can't just lose my mother. I can't just lose my mother and be disconnected emotionally. See, I'm sorry, Julia. I'm sorry. I know I deal with some of y'all who have bad mothers. I do. My mother never robbed me of anything. I honestly cannot say like when and when I look at some of the things, because I'm gonna tell you something, when my mother was still alive, my life was easier. Soon as that lady was gone, my life got hard. My life got hard. It did. It did. It's a difference. It hit different. It hits differently with my mother gone. So I can honestly say that her death, I didn't benefit from that. I didn't, and I would have never even thought that I would. So I understand that a lot of y'all have issues with your mother, but my mother has never done anything to me that was unforgivable. It was just kind of the nature of our relationship. Like I definitely feel that a lot of us are dealing with karmic mothers. Like I've done a lot of research on my mother. Thank you. Thank you, honey. I've done a lot of research on me and my mother karmically. And what I found out was that in a past life, me and my mother had a totally different relationship. However, in this life, we were working that out. Only thing that I can honestly say that I have an issue with in this life with either one of my parents is the Christianity. That's the only thing I can complain about, and that's simple. Them practicing Christianity at all, them involving me with that at all. That's not something I'm going to be upset with them about forever, though. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't know. Maybe they didn't realize. Maybe it was a thing. You know what I'm saying? But I can't even complain about that. Otherwise, I feel like my parents, I feel like I have a good moral compass. And I feel like a lot of y'all that, let me just say this, a lot of you guys that are healing from your mother wounds, I am definitely healing your hearts and your minds. Like, especially your thymus gland, your heart chakra. I'm healing that a lot within people that have dealt with mother trauma and parental trauma. Like, seriously, because if you go through a bunch of stress every single day, they've done autopsies on kids that were under constant stress in the home, and they can definitely tell the difference. It causes your thymus gland to shrink. So a lot of y'all, I am literally healing your bodies from that. I can honestly say that the way I feel in my heart, the way I feel in my heart, the way I've always felt in my heart, the fact that I honestly have been able to experience real joy and happiness. Like, just to have that feeling in my heart. I'm talking about that real stuff to where you just feel loved. That was something that my parents taught me. So and I know, and it's in my memory as a child, and then not just my parents, but my auntie, her son who helped raise me, his name was Keith. Just playing with me and holding me as a child. I was treated well growing up. I wasn't mistreated growing up. Like I can honestly say that, and I can't, like, for example, I can tell by looking at my entire body. I don't have bruises and scratches and cuts all over my body. A lot of people that have been abused as children, they got a bunch of bruises and cuts and stuff and scars. I don't have that. I got birthmarks. So I can honestly say that my parents, they did look out for me. I was looked out for. And I know that it's a lot of y'all out there that wasn't. Y'all are the ones that I'm supposed to be healing. Now I can't do that for free though, because this is how I earn a living. Right? I can't do that for free. It wasn't meant for me to do it for free because it's way too much. It's way too involved. It's hours and hours and hours of my time involved. It's a lot of deep meditation. It's a lot of time spent with y'all. If I were born a millionaire, yeah, I'd probably be able to just go around healing people, but I'm not. We don't live in those times. If I were to try to heal everybody for free, I'd die of starvation. So I can't do that. My kids would die of starvation. And I'm not going to do this part time and work a full time job. I'm not going to do that. I already tried that my entire life, and my spirits just pushed me out of every job that I had. So I'm just telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I understand that those of you that hate your mother, like I understand that's what makes me an empath. But I think that it is the love that I got from my mother that even helps me heal y'all. So when my mother was still alive and before I moved out of Kansas City, Missouri, that was the only person I hung around in Kansas City was my mother. I was always with my mother. I was always with my mother. I spent as much time with my mother as possible. My mother was always included in everything. When me and my children went trick or treating, I never forget. It's a memory that like it's one of my most recent, very good memories of my mother was being in Kansas City, and we went trick or treating for Halloween. And I'll never forget my mother, like, after about an hour or two of trick or treating, she said, "I'm ready to go home." She said, "My feet hurt." And and it's something that, like, I can still feel her sitting right next to me in the van, like, in my van, and her saying this to me, her saying to me, "Can we go back home?" And so like, and I can't come to social media and change that story and have people turn me against my family or drive a wedge in my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe that a lot of the issues that me and my mother had was being exacerbated by people in social media. Why do you need that? If a person has a good relationship with their mother, why are you trying to change that? Like, and I swear to y'all, like, I've actually had people trying to do that. I got people right now that are trying to drive a wedge between me and my family. All those people that I know that ain't perfect. Those people ain't perfect. Those people may need my guidance. Those people are actually not harmful to me. Those people are never going to get me killed. They never going to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? They not. But people in social media for their own selfish purposes are literally trying to drive a wedge with my real family at home, and I'm starting to get real impatient. I'm starting like I'm really, and my spirits are in a rage because of it. Because at the end of the day, that's my family. Those are my family members, no matter how imperfect they are. No matter, even if they talk about me crazy, which they do. Some of them do, some of them don't, some of them do. Still my family. Still my family. And yeah, they have affected me negatively before. Yep. I'm not saying it's everybody in my family that does that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like unless you are trying to create some kind of peace, or if you're protecting somebody, because I do have a lot of clients that have very toxic family members. Very. And I've got some toxic family members. They've changed over the past decade. And, it's certain things that I don't like about them. You know what I'm saying? But, that's something that our ancestors are going to take care of, or either if certain spiritual work has to be done, you know what I'm saying? Or if I felt like I needed some assistance with that, I would go to someone else. I would go to somebody that I trusted. People that you can't trust should not be in your family business. That's family at the end of the day. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've noticed so many people going to these practitioners. Oh, and they robbing people's family blind. They will create problems where there doesn't need to be any. It'll be a perfectly normal family, and people are trying to, because I believe that it's because they want your family blood. I believe it's because they want your family power. That's what I think personally, which, you really can't, you really can't do that, because our power is connected to spirits. I know we saw an episode of True Blood where Marnie was able to stab Jesus. I don't know if y'all familiar with that. Um, Marnie was able to stab Jesus, and she was able to lick the knife with his blood on it, and then she was able to manifest his family power. That's just a movie. That's just a TV show. That's not the way that it works. And instead, they never get what they want. What they end up doing is just creating a mess. Yeah, did you see that now? Some of the stuff on True Blood was like accurate. Like, remember when Lafayette helped that lady and her baby move on? The ghost of that lady and her baby. She kept coming in there, like she kept possessing Lafayette into kidnapping who's that red hair girl? Remember that? Remember that I love me some True Blood too. And they he ended up, it was such a beautiful episode. But like some of that stuff, like honestly, and that was the best season, especially season 4, when it was the vampire. Was it season 3? It was either season 3 or season 4, the vampires versus the witches. So that was actually a very good show. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good show. True Blood was the bomb diggity. That was a good show. I didn't really like the whole vampire AIDS thing, but it was good. It was good for some dramatic moments, like you know how the vampires, when they succumb to that whatever the vampire AIDS was, and they bodies just like turned into like just blood, and they just kind of imploded on themselves. Like that was very dramatic the way that was happening. It was some kind of hepatitis for vampires. I can't remember how old I was. I know I think I was in my 30s when True Blood came out. I might have been in my late 20s. Yeah, it was a very good show. Um, but you can't necessarily do that. But it's a lot of people for some reason. It's like they try to spread evil to people, family like a virus, man. Like, and just because I moved away from my family does not mean that I didn't love them. In fact, I didn't even really move because of family. I moved because of other people that I'm not even going to mention because it ain't worth opening up that can of worms. I moved for other reasons. And mainly not even because of nobody else, it's just because I wanted some new scenery. Mainly, I just, you know, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. It was so weird. It's just been like a crazy ass nightmare. I don't like any of it. I don't like any of it. My spirits took me on this journey, and people just constantly trying to. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's season 4. Oh yeah, Tara's one of my favorites. Love her so much. I think her name is Rutina Wesley or something. Hmm. She's one of my favorite actors too. The girl that played, she just. I think a lot of people asleep on Rutina Wesley too. She is a great actress. She really is amazing. I think she was in that one show about the zombies. Rutina Wesley. I can't remember the name of that show though. I like her mama, Nettie Mae. Was her name Nettie Mae? The whole thing was cool, man. They just made you wanna, even though it was vampires there, they just made you wanna live in Bontomp or whatever that was. They made you wanna live there. I would have loved to have lived there. Hmm. Oh yeah, she's beautiful, amazing. Um, Lafayette, I loved him too. He died though, man. I didn't even know he died. Coincidentally, he died of congestive heart failure. Oh yeah, Eric got it going on. It's one of them shows where you just loved all of the characters, especially the main characters. Everybody on that show though, like even some of the supporting characters. I think my least favorite character though was that lady that played. Oh my god, I think she was in season 2. The one that could like vibrate her whole body. I don't know why I can't think of the name of. I cannot think of that lady's name. The one that came to they town to stalk. I don't know why I can't even think. I gotta get caught up on True Blood because I do go back and binge watch True Blood a lot. I ain't really had time to do it lately. It's kind of like therapeutic for me. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of what is that dude's name? Sam. Sam. The one that owned the bar. A very good show. But, you know, Marianne, yeah, oh my God. Like, Marianne is my least favorite character. I just hated everything she did. I was just like, ooh, she's weird. I did not like Marianne. I don't know what kind of creature feature that was, man. That lady was about to give me nightmares, man. That was insane. Very creepy. Oh my God. And then when she had all those people, they was having orgies and she had them all with that big meat. It was weird, man. I was just like, this lady is weird. She is weird. And she reminds me of somebody I ain't gonna mention. But yeah, she actually came there and kind of took advantage of Tara. You know what I'm saying? And her mother's messed up situation. And it kind of reminds me of certain people. That's why I wouldn't do that. Yeah, man, it was really weird. But anyway, I done deviated away from the conversation talking about True Blood. Uh-huh. So I would be careful with that. Like, now the one thing I can tell you is that if if your family, like if it's certain people in your family that you really can't trust and you try to heal the situation, and I've tried to do this before, like I've gotten attacked severely before by that person's personal spirits, then that could be a sign that it either ain't time for you to be doing all that, or they ain't gonna never be with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But my mother, like, she did get messed up with that cancer. Cancer, people don't realize that as a healer, I feel like cancer is like just overall this dark entity of darkness and sickness and decay. And I feel like cancer changes a person. In fact, I can almost guess when somebody has cancer and they just ain't been diagnosed. Because, yeah, you're right, Unica. Um, I can tell when somebody has cancer but hasn't been diagnosed because they typically will become mean as a pistol for no reason. Just like, to me, that's like an early sign. Like, they'll just be very toxic, and they'll have the personality change. I feel like cancer causes these extreme personality changes in people. And I feel like that's like one of the first early signs of it. So, um, now do I feel that whatever it is that me and my mother went through should be affecting me to this day? No, people are trying to use that. Especially when your mother passes away, and if you've done the spirit work that you need to have done, because a lot of times the ancestors will let you know how to get your loved ones to move on and move forward, or either they'll start working out stuff in spirit with you. But when you got people that like it's actually people out there that, and I never like they'll mess with you about stuff like that, and they'll just try to make everything as malignant as possible, but they don't like for it to be done to them. They do not like that. They feel like they can talk about your dead relatives, but you talk about theirs and it's the end of the damn world. And nobody on here should be talking about people's dead family members either. No, and like it's so bizarre as to what has been going on. It's very bizarre, and it seems so unreal to the point where when it stops, like I feel like when it stops, like we're literally our heads are just gonna be cleared of it. Like nobody will even have to think about it. And it's just like floating around out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I just wanted to stop because I think it's ridiculous. I really do. I really do. So anyway, I'm tired of it. I really am. No, I am not tired of living at all, but I'm tired of living like that because I did not ever live like that until running into certain people in social media. I feel like they do try to start shit in people's families. I feel like they are trying to be destructive to people's family. And, I'm not going to have it. I'm not. I'm not. Like I said, I invoked, and before I go to sleep tonight, like when I get off of here after having this discussion, I'm about to sit here and do my invocations and my meditations. I'm not playing this no more. I'm not going to sit up here and be like everybody else and like because I feel like my grandmother when she passed away, I feel like when she came to me, she basically told me without saying a word that you need to save as many people in our family as possible because our family is in trouble. And my grandmother was extremely hurt by some of the stuff. Like she would come to me and cry. Like I would sit when my grandmother was still alive. She'd be up watching TV or whatever, eat because my grandmother loved to snack late at night. I'd be sitting there talking to her and she'd just be like, I don't know what's happening with my family. My grandmother was extremely upset about that. Like she was just like, why is my family going through this? Why do I feel like people are changing? Why? Because like literally my grandmother's kids and her grandkids was her pride and joy. She doted over us. She loved us a lot. And people got to stealing her towels and doing all kind of weird stuff. And at the time I didn't understand what was going on. But then I started having these dreams and stuff. I started having these prophetic dreams to where I was seeing people under possession and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And just as I got older, it started making sense to me. So, I like I'm just like, don't mess with nobody in my family, not even the ones that I don't get along with. Because you making that worse. You know what I'm saying? Like don't touch my family at all. Not none of them. Let me handle it. You don't know how to handle it. You don't know those people anyway. So I don't want nobody on this platform, nobody, not no enemy and no adversary messing with my family. I don't. I don't. And that's why I'm going back home and I am going to make sure that the people in my family that do trust me, that do care about me, that I am actually physically there for them. I am not going to sit up here and be stuck over here with a bunch of people that hate me and no family here. And there is a few people on my father's side of the family that are here, but I feel like they hate me. I don't feel like my father's side of the family actually loves me. I feel like they hate me. So I don't have no family here and I don't want to be here anymore and I'm tired of it. And my spirits have been telling me about all kind of stuff And see, I gotta get off of here, y'all, because I'm getting ready to make a gree bag to stop all kind of. It's gonna be to stop foot track magic, domination magic, just in general, foot track domination, as well as hot foot magic. Cause I got some people trying to hot foot me, and then some people trying to keep me here, and then some people just trying to control and dominate me. So I'm gonna make a gree bag to shut that down. That needs to be shut down. That needs to be shut down officially. Cause whenever you dealing with any kind of African based voodoo, you gonna be dealing with foot track magic. And I can't stand foot track magic. It's annoying as hell. So let me get off of here, y'all. Oh, you know what? That's so sweet. Like that reminds me of my big mama. My big mama used to watch Gunsmoke. I remember her looking at them old westerns and she'd be all into it, man. She would be all into it. Them was the good old days, man. It just seemed like ever since I came to YouTube and ran into certain people that's supposed to be in the spiritual community, it just seemed like those people have no boundaries, no barriers, no respect, no nothing. They have no respect for other black people. They have no respect for nobody. They just feel like they can just do whatever they want to do. And it just is so annoying. It really is, because I've never been that type of person. I've always respected other people's boundaries and other people's spaces. It's just so unhealthy. So let me get off of here though, y'all. I'm frustrated. I feel like a bunch of people are trying to stop my nature or tie up my nature. I don't like it. I don't like it. I am a healer. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a street fighter. I'm not a sex worker. I'm not trying to pimp nobody. I ain't no pimp. I ain't no child molester. I'm not none of those things. I am a healer. Please stop trying, like, because I'm saying please and I'm being nice about it. I insist upon. I insist that you stop. So does my spirits, because we're tired of it. This is no longer became a joke. My spirits are sitting up here looking like, why? Why are you trying to interfere with something like that? You know? Oh, your grandmother watched Medea. Yeah, I used to love. I always spent a lot of time with the older people in my family because they was cooler than going out and hanging out with friends. So I would always hang out with them because they they was the funniest. They was the funnest to be around. Okay, and then just my grandmother, like, especially my aunt Regina. Man, that lady was such a good person. Like. She was an Aries, and she just always fought for what was right. She did. She just always was like checking people on their fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? She's a good person, and I need to go to the cemetery. I need to go home, and I don't know if these people feel threatened by me being near my family's bones, but it's like it don't matter where my location is. My spirits are still gonna do what they do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me for burping, y'all. I kind of got heartburn a little bit. Kind of got a little heartburn, so I had to let that go. Sorry about that. Um, and then coincidentally, my heartburn feels better. Yeah, I can't be here anymore. So yeah, I cannot be here anymore. So, and I was throwing my cards earlier, and I think they were showing me foot track magic or something. And see, they want me to. I've been making these gree bags, and I hate it when people try to act like, oh, well, my magic is more powerful than you, so I can control you. Well, first of all, what are you trying to control me for anyway? Um, I trust my spirits to the point where I can totally walk away from everybody that has named themselves as an adversary against me. And I don't feel like you're going to ever do anything to me or my loved ones. In fact, I know it. I don't have to sit and watch you the rest of my life. I don't have to sit and worry about you the rest of my life. Once I have gotten you out of my life and once the situation is over, it's over. Do you trust your spirits? How much do you trust your spirits and God? How much do you trust your spirits and God? When you gotta constantly and consistently stay in a war with your like, I'm sorry, I'm just not trying to run myself down like that. Like the situation, as far as I'm concerned, is over. I can walk away trusting that my spirits are gonna take care of me, and they've said it's over, and the karma done either been transmuted or either banished or taken care of, and I ain't gotta worry about it no more. It can feel like that, but Unica, I feel like one of the first signs of foot track magic is somehow if your feet get real black at the bottom, like you feel like you got to go and wash your feet all the time. They will get black at the bottom. Like I'm talking about black, black. Hmm. And I know that can happen from the floors needing to be washed, but especially if you wash your floors, because this hotel room that I'm in, I washed all the floors with ammonia last night, and it just seemed like, yeah, so we tired of the foot track magic because that shit, like whatever it is they be digging up and stuff, like I'm a traditional healing witch. I don't work that way. I don't work with oppressive spirits like that. I'm not trying to oppress people. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure you don't do no harm to me, but for me to try to control somebody's movement, no, I ain't trying to control nobody. You go your way, I go mine. And a lot of y'all women that got these men, they will go to some of these voodoo practitioners and they will put foot track magic on you to where they can control you. So we are doing a gree bag for that to get rid of that immediately. Immediately. And we'll have a gree bag for it. So and I think that's disgusting. Hey, at the end of the day, I got African ancestors too. Thank you. Yep, yep. So I got the same power you got. Right, right. So you can put some foot track magic on me. A lot of times, y'all, cause I'll say, have I been trapped somewhere? And they'll say no. And then they'll show me the 7 of wands, or either the 7 of swords. 7 of wands. Yep, you have to clean up more. Yep. 7 of wands or 7 of swords is a sign of foot track magic. It is. So you be wondering why. Yeah, it's basically, to me, That's why I was saying slavery started in Africa. Slavery didn't just start with white people. Black folk been putting each other in slavery for since the dawn of time. Let's keep it a buck, man, for real. I don't even want to hear it. And if you a black person that done shown me any signs that you trying to enslave me or some weirdness like that, like bro, like my spirits are always gone. So y'all got to be careful with that because I feel like live and let live, and you know that's kind of stupid and crazy. Now the only thing is that they can either get an image of your foot, which is why you should not ever put a pictures of your feet in social media, which a lot of people do. You can't do what you want to do because, you know, or they can just use a photograph of you. I've had baneful freezer spells put on me too. It's disgusting. For what? For what? I feel like what a lot of people did was they got into the craft and then they said, I just want to try everything and let me get a guinea pig. And that's called not using it responsibly. And it's gonna bite them in the butt. It's going to bite them in the butt. Trust me. Because they messing with people that they shouldn't be messing with. I'm just telling you. No, you are not free to just do whatever you want to do. No, you're not. So anyway, y'all, let me get off of here. I'm gonna be up for a little while working. And you know, I'm just asking for y'all to make sure y'all support my business all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I've made about 10 gree bags though, like taking care of all of it. Like, I'm gonna make a gree bag to counteract foot track magic. So we really need stuff like that. We really do. And it does work. It does, especially the way that I do it. It's a whole ritual that typically takes me about 2 hours to do, 2, 3 hours to do. And then, of course, you do want to wash your feet. You want to take a shower or either a bath, um, you know, to go ahead and release that. I hate that. I do. I hate that. Because everything that comes out of Africa ain't good. And I felt like today, like you could tell they was doing some, and I'm just like, oh my God, it was so cold today in Georgia. It was cold. And to me, when it gets unseasonably cold like that, what I can sense is these spirits coming through the Atlantic Ocean. And I don't like it. Like, don't, like, first of all, I do have African roots, but I also have Native American, and they are different. They are very different, even though I have both. Okay, because again, my grandfather was Native American, Japanese, white, and black was in his blood. My grandmother, I believe that my grandmother was African, but I believe also we have Haitian roots too. When you look at my grandmother, like I be like, she looked like some of them Haitian people, like the people in my family. So yeah, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It was cold as hell. It was a lot of, and I'm like, I can't stand like those spirits are not. Those spirits are not just waking up and roaming around. Those spirits are being conjured, and I think it's disgusting for them to do that. Usually, that I hate that they still conjuring up these angry spirits, you know what I'm saying, or pulling them from somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just really irritates me. It really does. And I can't just sell products to people. Like, if I sell you a gree bag for something like that, it can't just be something that I sell you. Like, it's a whole ritual in order for it to even work. So, either way, I'm doing work for people. And that's something that my path was always about. And my spirits is irritated. They're irritated, they're angry, they're upset, and they're getting fucking impatient. I want to sell, I want to mix selling luxury house furniture with protection spells and healing medicine and oils. Oh, that's nice. For me, it's all spiritual, but I do want to do witchy home decor. I do want to get into that witchy home decor. Mm-hmm. It's like a just a creative outlet. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all, let me get up out of here. I gotta go. Yeah, we tired. We tired. Cause I can ask spirits right now. Has somebody been putting foot track magic on me? Yes or no? See, the answer is yes. With two sixes. Actually, I got three variations of six. And I think that a lot of these men, especially black men, like that was the worst thing for black men to get access to any kind of black magic and stuff because they will go and pay for stuff for people to put stuff on people. They will do that. And it's like don't like are you kidding me? And it just really makes you hate being a black girl sometimes. Like they go overboard with it like it's too much. Like you doing too much. So I'll talk to y'all later though. Okay. Yeah, I would love to come on here and do like certain stuff, like, decorate somebody's house, witchy style or whatever. Um, outside decor, inside decor. I would love to do things like that instead of coming on here arguing with a bunch of people that need to go and get a life. Straight up and down. Leave me alone. Leave my family alone. I'm serious. Because I don't care how bad I get along with those people, they're still my family. And even if they working with you or whatever, even if they working against me, they still my family. And you not gonna be in on my family blood. That's just how I feel about the situation. I done seen a lot of people family get invaded by folks like that. And I can't stand them. For real. Yeah. So anyway, y'all have a good night. Have a good day. Okay. All right, y'all. Blessings. Bye bye. Love you guys. Bye.